This is the leaning Pisa tower version of stacking game JENGA. I printed it with silk PLA on Creality K1. The first part of the game is less fun, you need to build the tower. If you want to play easier version, you can play without leaning bottom part. I printed 6 layers tower, but you can add up as many layers you like. The game point is the same as JENGA game. Players take turns and remove pieces from the tower. If you make the tower fall, you lose. It's a great game to add to your game collection or change out the basic block JENGA game. On the top of the tower should be layer separation piece also, but I miscalculated the amount I need for this height. And that's how the game ends and tower building can start again. Before you can start playing, you need to do some building. This time you don't need to build a tower like last game, wall instead. The first part is the base of the wall. Then there are 2 supports for the brick wall. Bricks are laid between the supports. Top row bricks are different color. Brick wall game is a cool 2-player game. Players take turns and remove bricks from the wall with chisel and hammer. The player loses when the top row bricks fall during their turn or wall collapse is completed during their turn. This game has the same point as last game. You lose when wall or tower falls down during your turn. Both are great games. I like the wall game a little bit more. If you don't have 3D printer but you need something to 3D print, just type in PCBWeight.com and start ordering your stuff. There are many different types of 3D printing you can choose from. Different materials. PCBWay also makes custom PCBs. They provide CNC milling series, sheet metal fabrication and injection molding. Vortext Cubed is 3x3x3 tic-tac-toe game with twist. This cube design makes playing more interesting. Game pieces I printed with Prim because without it some of the pieces came off the bed. It's better to print without Prim if your build plate have good adhesion. Removing the Prim takes long time and if you don't clean them nicely you can have problems pieces stacking inside the cube. There are holes for the magnets on the cube and also on the cases. I didn't have right size so I didn't add any magnets. One of the pieces don't fit inside the cube and also case don't have any place to put it. It can be lost quite easy. It would be nice to have some kind of holder on the case. Ring toss is a cool game to play with your friends or family. This is the alien version of this. Before I can try it out I need to assemble it. I printed it with silk PLA. It's mostly 3D printed except the string and rings. I used the simple key rings. The assembly is simple and easy. The hardest part is to get the string to right length. So the game goes like this. 2 players compete against each other. At the beginning, the game piece, the alien, is placed in the center of the playing field. Then both players simultaneously try to toss the ring in an arc to hook it onto the game piece. Whoever hooks the ring gets to move the game piece on one space in the direction of the opponent. If the game piece leaves the playing field on one side, the other player wins the round. I like this game, it takes some practice. I have one string a little bit longer and it seems to be easier to hook the ring. So if it feels impossible, you can try different string lengths, it may help. Battleship is strategy type questing game for 2 players. It is played on ruled grids, paper or board, on which each player's fleet of 4 ships are marked. The location of the fleets are concealed from the other players. Players alternate turns calling shots at the other player's ships, and the objective of the game is to destroy the opposing player's fleet. Battleship is known worldwide as a pencil and paper game. There are also many board versions of it, and here is one of them. Assembly is simple, but I had some problems with the game. The C-blade holes are too small and pins don't fit. To fix it, there are 2 options: drill the holes bigger or make the holes bigger and then print new one. I chose the faster and easiest way, but it didn't went as I wanted. Pieces broke off the C-blade. This silk PLA breaks a little bit easier than the regular one, so I still need to print new C-blades. The pinholes in the lead is bigger. The ships are not very secured in the place, so you can knock them over easily. If you drop the pin in the sea, it's difficult to get it out, seems to be like real sea. All the pieces can be stored inside the case. Lid stays closed nicely, and it also holds open without a problem. If you do some modifications, you will get a nice battleship game. I used 2 pins for the lid, it should be enough. If the pins snap, you can print them horizontally and they should not break anymore. Here is the next cool board game. It seems to be a similar game like Corridor. If you don't know this game, I will show how it works. 2 contestants compete. Each player places their pawn in the center position in front of them and holds 10 wall pieces. Players take turns rolling the dice. The players with the highest number terminates the game order. Players take turns moving their own pawn or using the wall pieces to block the opponent's path. Each player can only move 1 step or place 1 wall piece at a time. Pawns can only move 1 square at a time. They can move forward, backward or sideways, but cannot move diagonally. Pawns cannot jump over the wall pieces, they can only move around them. Wall pieces can only block 2 squares. They cannot block 3 squares at the same time. When placing wall pieces, there must be at least 1 path for the opponent to move forward. Once all wall pieces are used, only pawn movements is allowed. When pawns face each other, they can jump to the back of the opponent's pawn. Opponent's pawn is blocked by the wall piece at the back. The player can jump to the left or right or the opponent's pawn. A player wins if their pawn reaches the opponent's territory, any of the 9 squares, and the game ends immediately. Print it without the problems. I like the drawers on both sides. You only need 1 dice, so you don't need to print 6. If you print only 1 multicolored dice, the wasted filament amount is the same as printing more, so why not print more? It came out nice and the game is fun to play also. Cascade Connect is a Connect 4 game, but it's not just a regular one. This one is self-sorting, so no boring sorting anymore. It looks good, but I had problems with pieces stacking. After quick inspect, I solved the problem. I printed it with Rainbow Silk PLA and it had some problems with printing overhangs. That's why pieces stuck. I printed a new one with regular PLA. This one came out much smoother and no stacking problems anymore. Connect 4, also known as 4 in a row, is a game where you need to be the first to form a horizontal, vertical or diagonal line of 4 of your tokens. If you have finished your game, just lift up the game board and all the pieces will fall in the right box. Sometimes if you want to put the board back down, some of the pieces are in the way. And if you don't want to play anymore, you can use the game board as the lead. This is the 3D printed version of the game called Egloo Mania. First thing to do is to sort the ice brick. Every piece have a layer number. I printed it with PTG and it didn't have any problems. The dome part is for supporting the walls during building. This game has similar point as Pisa Tower and Brick Wall. It's a two-player game where players take turns and remove ice bricks. Ice bricks are removed with Polar Bear tool. The game ends when Eskimo falls down. The player whose turn was when Eskimo falls down takes all the fallen bricks also, and the winner is the player who has less bricks. It's a fun game to play. Brick sorting and igloo building is a little bit annoying, but still great game. This was the last game of this video. Thanks for watching.